Have you ever had one of those days where you kind of just feel like you're stuck in a loop, like you're living the same scenario over and over again? Welcome forward in part 8 of this modernization of Thomas Troward's Edinburgh lectures on mental science. We delved into reciprocal action of the universal and individual minds, and we discovered that our minds engage in this dynamic two-way conversation with the divine mind, allowing us to be co-creators with God. It's like realizing you're not just a character in the story, but also the author. You have a say in how the plot actually unfolds. And now in part 9, we're taking this understanding to the next level by exploring causes and conditions. We'll unravel how the thoughts we nurture, the causes, shape the reality we experience, the conditions. It's time to flip the script and see ourselves not just as reactors to life's circumstances, but as initiators of change. By grasping the relationship between primary causes and secondary conditions, we can align more closely with the divine, harnessing the creative power that God has placed within us. So are you ready to break free from the endless loop and step into your role as a co-creator of your destiny? If so, let's dive in and discover how understanding causes and conditions can transform not just our perspective, but our entire lives. In the last video, part 8, we discussed the concept of relative first cause, which is our personal ability to initiate a chain of events towards a specific goal. It's first because it's the starting point that we create, and relative because it's unique to each of us. This term really distinguishes the creative power within our individual minds from the universal first cause, which we may understand as God or divine source, and from secondary causes, which are the conditions and effects that follow. Understanding and using this power, is central to mental science. It's important to grasp how causes and conditions relate to each other. Let's use a simple example to illustrate this. I want you to imagine for a second in your mind's eye that, you're entering, let's say, a dark room. And as you enter this dark room, you switch on a light, and all of a sudden the room becomes illuminated. It's no longer dark. And now what you do is, you turn off that light, and, the darkness returns. We've all done this before. But illumination and darkness, they're both conditions. And one is positive light resulting from the presence of a cause, the light source, and one negative, darkness from its absence. So where are we going with this? Well, from this, we learn that every positive condition has an opposite negative condition. They both stem from the same cause, either through its presence or absence. Conditions themselves, they're not primary causes. They result from causes. A primary cause can't be negative because negation arises from the absence of an active cause. This concept is really key to understand. You might need to re-watch that section or re-listen to it because, it forms the philosophical foundation of the denials in mental science. Essentially, negative conditions, or what we perceive to be evil, don't have an independent existence. They're simply the absence of good or positive cause. And this aligns with the scriptural idea, that God is light. In him there is no darkness at all, from John 1:5. Darkness isn't a force in itself, but the absence of light. Moreover, once a condition exists, whether positive or negative, it can become a cause itself, leading to new conditions. And this chain reaction is what we refer to as secondary causation, which is essentially an ongoing sequence of events stemming from the original cause. It's like a series of dominoes falling. One event leads to another. When we rely solely on our senses, we perceive only this sequence of conditions, feeling trapped in an endless loop dictated by past and present circumstances, a seemingly inescapable destiny. We might think we're passengers on a train with a predetermined route, unable to change direction. But what if we could take control? As mental scientists, this is what we explore. There is indeed a way to take the helm, if you will. We can rise above secondary causes by tapping into primary causation, which is found within us, in the realm of pure ideas. This is where we connect with that divine spark inside of each of us. As we're reminded in Scripture, so God created mankind in his own image, Genesis 1:27. This means we share in the creative nature of the divine, which brings us to a great reflection point. Consider how might recognizing your thoughts as the primary cause influence the way you approach life's challenges and goals? In what areas can you begin to consciously initiate positive changes by adjusting your thought pattern? Think of the thought image or ideal pattern of something as the first cause for that thing. It's like the blueprint before any construction begins. It's that moment of pure idea untouched by limitation. Recognizing that all visible things originate from spirit, also known as the divine mind or universal mind. As we do this, we see everything begins with an idea. If spirit operates by creating ideas before manifesting them, we can do the same individually by forming a clear ideal image in our minds. We're participating in the creative process endowed by the divine, setting the first cause into motion for what we wish to create or what we wish to achieve. It's crucial to be conscious of how we're using this first cause. Because whether we realize it or not, we're always impressing ideas upon the divine mind, the mind of God. Our limitations arise from habitually thinking in terms of limitations, essentially telling the divine, I'm content with these boundaries, confine me by them. To change this, we must view the ideal as the true reality. External manifestations, they're merely reflections that change as our internal ideals change. If we consider our goals dependent on specific circumstances, past, present, or future, we're not utilizing primary causation. We're really entangled in the layers of secondary causation, the realm of doubts, the realm of limitations, inadvertently reinforcing these conditions that aren't serving us. Instead, we want to try to understand that secondary causes are mere reflections. Our purpose isn't contingent on external conditions. By forming and sustaining our ideal in the absolute and aligning it with the divine will, we've begun to shape the first cause into our desired form. We can then anticipate the results with confident expectation. This means that even without physical evidence, our faith in the divine process allows us to trust that our ideals will manifest. This is where recognizing that spirit transcends time and space becomes a really vital idea to both understand and grasp. An ideal can't be formed in the future, it must be now, and that's why spiritual teachings, they urge us to visualize our desires as if already fulfilled on the spiritual plane. It's like planting a seed and trusting that in due time it will grow. With this understanding, worrying about how our goals will manifest becomes unnecessary. If the end is already secured in the divine mind, so are all the steps leading to it. Opportunities and means, they're going to unfold naturally in our daily lives. Our role is to act upon them thoughtfully and joyfully, knowing that we're participating in a larger, coordinated process guided by God's wisdom. But what if we face significant decisions and fear choosing wrongly? Well, when the end is secured, each decision becomes a necessary step towards our goal, and we want to try to trust that the same divine law directing everything else also guides our judgment. It's natural to feel impatient, it's natural to feel doubtful when the results don't appear instantly or as fast as we'd like them to. However, remember that, just as the seed takes time to grow underground before sprouting, your intentions require time to manifest. And patience and continued alignment with your ideal are really key during this period. Which brings us to another great reflection point where we can start to think about our habitual thoughts. Are there recurring negative conditions in your life that might stem from deeply held beliefs or thoughts? If so, how can you shift these thoughts to break free from limitations and create new positive conditions? To achieve positive results, understand your relationship with the divine. God is the ultimate intelligence, and we've been given a share in that intelligence. Our minds are meant to work in harmony with the divine mind. And, we shouldn't expect God to act without our participation. Our role involves not only setting intentions, but also taking inspired actions that align with our goals. And as we do this, it should allow us to release anxiety about the outcome. In practice, we want to begin by forming a clear conception of your objective, intending to impress it upon the divine mind and aligning it with God's will. And this deliberate intention elevates your thought from a casual wish to a creative force, and then affirm your understanding of divine law as the basis for expecting a corresponding result, trusting that all the necessary conditions will align accordingly. You don't need to know A to Z, you just need to know A to B. For instance, if you desire a fulfilling career, you want to begin by forming a clear image of what that looks like. Maybe that's engaging, purposeful work, supportive colleagues that you genuinely enjoy collaborating with, and endless opportunities for growth. Hold this ideal in your mind, aligning it with the understanding that such fulfillment is in harmony with the divine's intention for your abundant life. With this mindset, you can approach your daily life with calm assurance. If immediate signs aren't apparent, remain confident. Know that the spiritual prototype of your goal exists in the divine mind, and be attentive to the circumstances that point in your desired direction, no matter how small. It's the alignment with divine purpose, not the magnitude, that matters. When we notice such signs, we should regard them as the first sprout of the seed that we've planted. Let's engage with these developments calmly and purposefully. This participation will lead to further circumstances aligning with our goal, guiding us step by step towards its realization. By understanding and applying this law of supply, we'll gradually free ourselves from worry and strenuous effort. We'll enter a realm where utilizing our mental and physical abilities become a natural expression of our true selves, a continual source of health and happiness. So take this opportunity to really embrace your role as a co-creator with the divine. Begin today by aligning your thoughts with the limitless possibilities that the divine mind offers, and watch as your life transforms in ways you could once only imagine. Now that we've explored the profound relationship between causes and conditions in Part 9, we've gained a clear understanding of how our thoughts serve as the primary causes that shape the conditions of our lives. We've learned that by consciously initiating these primary causes and aligning them with the divine mind, we step into our role as co-creators, breaking free from the limitations imposed by secondary causes. But our journey doesn't end here. While harnessing the power of primary causation is transformative, there's another vital aspect to consider, and that is the subtle inner guidance that often whispers truths our rational minds can't immediately grasp. That gut feeling or that sudden flash of insight that seems to come out of nowhere? Well, in Part 10, Intuition, we'll dive into this mysterious yet essential facet of our being. We'll explore how our subjective mind, the deepest part of ourselves, communicates with our objective mind, providing wisdom that transcends logic and sensory information. This inner voice is more than just a hunch. It's a direct line to the universal mind, offering guidance that's always attuned to our highest good. So are you ready to tune into this powerful, inner resource? Well, get ready to uncover how embracing your intuition can further align you with the divine mind, enhancing your ability to manifest your desires and navigate life's complexities with confidence and clarity. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to dive even deeper into the mastery of mental science, go to betterthought.com and subscribe to my newsletter. Not only will you find bonus material to complement what you just learned, but you'll be notified as soon as the next video in the series is released. So go to betterthought.com now and subscribe so we can continue this journey together. Until next time, Godspeed.